Hi, Jay Hill, Interim Leader of Wexit Canada, back with you once more. Well, my friends, in the early hours of August 24th, the final nail was hammered into the Reform Party coffin. The grand experiment of the West Wants In, begun by Preston Manning and so many others here in Western Canada about 35 years ago, has finally been completely snuffed out with the election of Aaron O'Toole as the latest leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. Aaron O'Toole won the leadership of the Conservative Party convincingly, overcoming alleged frontrunner Peter MacKay. However, had it not been for a few hundred votes cast in Quebec, it would have been much closer. That's because there weren't many members in Quebec to be counted. The Conservative leadership vote was decided using a point system that awarded each riding equal weight regardless of how many members in those ridings cast ballots. An analysis of the riding by riding results suggests that as few as 1,210 votes decided the outcome between their Honorables O'Toole and MacKay. On average, only 98 members voted in each of Quebec's 78 ridings, the lowest number of votes per riding nationwide in the Conservative leadership race. Alberta, on the other hand, had the highest average participation per riding at 1,161. The disparity was widest between the Montreal riding of Bourassa and the Alberta riding of Foothills, south of Calgary. By the last round of counting, just 23 ballots were still in play in Bourassa, compared to 1,866 in Foothills. Each ballot in Bourassa was therefore worth about 81 times as much as a vote in Foothills. Yes, you heard me right. 81 times. So under this flawed system, Aaron O'Toole owes as much or more to Quebec for his victory than he does to all the tens of thousands who voted for him here in the West. Don't you think his MPs and supporters from Quebec will be sure to frequently remind him of that? Especially if it appears he's promoting an issue that supports the West to the detriment of Quebec, like an Energy East pipeline, for example. Any hope we may have had for constitutional reform is now extinguished, for no one can possibly be left in any doubt that the Conservatives' Eastern leader will ever insist on recognition of the West's legitimate grievances, let alone fight with Central Canada to modernize our Constitution to address them. That's right. The word I used was insist, because that's the type of determination and commitment it will take. Sadly, much like the vandalism of an old statue, under Mr. O'Toole's leadership, the reform exercise in democratic renewal will become just a footnote in Canada's political history. Regrettably, based on my lengthy parliamentary experience, I know he cannot change the system of government that produces the tyranny of the majority in Canada, even if he wanted to. Now, don't misunderstand me, however. I wish Aaron O'Toole well. I hope he kicks Prime Minister Trudeau's can, metaphorically speaking, of course. And I'm confident that once elected, our Wexit MPs here in the West will work productively with Mr. O'Toole and his Conservative colleagues, so long as it's in the best interests of the West to do so, of course. A party with such an inequitable method of selecting their own leader will never insist upon the equitable treatment of Western voters. Please join Wexit Canada today and help us elect MPs that are committed to reforming Canada or exit trying. Bye for now. Please stay safe.